doop, 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 doop. Welcome to the Frank Monday channel. We're having a little Temple Day ritual. Got an empty glass. That's not a good sign. Got to put a little something, something in that, huh? Welcome. Oh, that was loud. Welcome, everyone, to an evening with Sir Francis Lunas Aristeas. I've got both my laptop and my phone connected to the internet. That's a rare delight. I'm not sure why they let me break through today, of all days, but they just happened to do it. So thank you for that. Great firewall of China. I hope y'all good looking sex people are doing well out in Happy Land. It's probably AM for most of you guys. So I don't expect that many people are going to be tuning in. And I don't expect that many people are going to see the video I just cut a moment ago. But it looks like there might be someone out there in the ideas room. So welcome. Good to see you. Hello there. Wizard, warrior, wanderer, wayfarer alike. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Here we are. We're at home alone. Everyone's out having fun on a Friday night. I was too tired to go out, so I decided to hang back and stay home. But I'm not too tired to say hello to all my good friends out there. I've got a video I am trying to upload to the internet right now, and it has been taking forever. So I decided just to go ahead and live stream and see if that would operate any smoother. It says that I started streaming 95 seconds ago. How is the transmission stream? Is it clear and smooth, or is it choppy and broken up? Let me see. Live stream, see if that would operate any smoother. Wow, it looks like it might be incredibly clear and easygoing. How delightful is that? Um, wow, that's kind of bright, huh? I just dropped a commentary on Elon Musk's App X, and I wanted to share with you guys about that in that video. So make sure you check that out. It says Elon Musk turns. Ooh, let me see if I can slide by here. Elon Musk to turn Twitter into a WeChat clone, which is, I mean, I couldn't believe I didn't see that coming because there isn't a WeChat clone in the US. And the WeChat app is bar none the most powerful app on the planet. I mean, everyone was wondering what was going to be the next thing to drop after I need to put a little something in this glass. Everyone was wondering what was going to be the next evolution after the cell phone. So we had the cell phone and we had the candy bars back in the day, right? The candy bar cell phone. And then it mutated into the Apple, grabbing myself a pack of JP Farrells, guys. Um, it mutated into the Apple type phone with a touch screen and all of that happy horse shit. And I talked about it enough on the last video, so I'm not going to talk about it on this one. Desposia. Mm. And if she smells that oak barreled goodness, she might not appreciate it the way I do. Um, yeah, so this is the next evolution. AppX is going to be the build a better mousetrap, right? What a genius idea. It's not his idea though. I mean, anybody could have seen that coming. You would think that freedom loving people will just totally reject it though, because it's going to mean so many things. First and foremost, it's going to mean track and trace of every breathing moment, like they're not already doing that anyway. But they want to throw it all down into one platform, so it's easier to keep an eye on you. Hey, Crystal Craze out there in Happy Land. Good to see you, Crystal. Thanks for tuning in. She says transmission's very clear. It's 7 a.m. here in Pennsylvania. So I'm just getting up, making some coffee, doing some housework, etc. But I'm listening. Good to see you. Thank you for that, Crystal. That's very kind of you. Thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and type that in the chat. So in case anything goes haywire, then yeah, make sure I can see it. Yeah, did you watch the Elon Musk video? Thank you for that. Yeah, share it out to your friends. That's the canary in the coal mine, as Alex Jones likes to say, right there. I mean, if people aren't just immediately shy away at this, WeChat is the, bar none, the most dangerous app on the planet. And once you get everyone signed on to that type of platform, it's fucking game over. Um, if you guys think Facebook's bad, if you think Twitter's bad, if you think YouTube's bad, AppX will be easily the most censorious, government monitored, intelligence agency driven. That's going to be Pavlov's fucking bell, right? Every time that thing dings, you're going to be barking like a dog, right? You'll be barking and drooling just like Pavlov's dog. It will be it's Neuralink, right, where he sends the fiber optics into your brain. That will be the catalyst for Neuralink. That'll be it. He'll hook you all up on Neuralink with his App X, and it'll be fucking game over. The simulation will be complete. We will be 100% top down enslaved. We won't even be able to make decisions. But here's the thing, they're going to reel you in with this right here, the convenience and the power, because it's got both of those things, man. It'll make everything so easy and so friendly, especially in the beginning, right? Where they're like, here, kitty, 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 here, kitty. But once they've got you, they've got you. Then it'll do a complete 180. It'll do an about face, and the fucking fangs will come out, right? Remember, this whole thing is powered by. I'm not even going to talk about it. So I wasn't going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. We're talking about day 92 of the 100-day magical challenge and what that means. So let me grab my notes. Always do what you say and only say what you know you can live up to. The great Taoist axiom. It's a proverb of portentous beauty. Always do what you say and only say what you know you can live up to. So do thou will, aspirants, neophytes, and supplicants alike. I'm suspicious, Crystal, that you're the one that gave me that generous gift of coffee purchase over there at buymeacoffee.com. So if that's a fact, and I believe it is, then thank you for that. It's very kind of you. Very kind indeed. And I hope you're doing well with Snuffles or Snuggles or um, Waggy, whatever. Not that I want to bring it up, but um, I have said more than one prayer for you, and I've been keeping you in my prayers. And I think you're the only one that really took the 100-day magical challenge seriously. You and Frater Tomas. Tomas. Did anyone else? I don't know. Other people think of it now and again, right? But some people are more interested than others, and that's okay. I didn't start the 100-day magical challenge for for those of the faint of heart, right? Magic is not for the lazy, as I like to say. Invoke often, inflame yourself with prayer. Yeah, so I'll jump off my Musk bandwagon. I never trusted that fucking guy. I knew from the beginning that he was an intel guy, right? An insider. Um, so other fun stuff. I'll just do some general housekeeping. I got ideas for my sports club. Uh, my company has okayed me to purchase some kung fu gear for my students. So I'm going to be teaching kung fu like Tuesdays and Thursdays at the academy. So that's fun. I mean, that's really exciting for me. I've been I've been so trapped and confined and not being able to teach kung fu, and now I'm excited to be doing it again, especially with young people and a captive audience, right? Like I can actually teach them what I want to teach them and then grade them on it. Next thing you know, I'm going to be teaching magic on Wednesday nights to another captive audience of senior students, and then getting them all their own tarot decks and testing them on that as well. So things are really going in the direction I wanted them to. I was a little disappointed at first because I went by HR and I talked to like the principal and stuff. The principal didn't say anything, but over in HR they said, "Oh yeah, well we can just hook you up with some gear from the wushu class." And I went over to the wushu class and they have like these 10 kwai swords and 10 kwai staves and stuff, and none of it's suitable for what I want to do. And what I want to do with the kids is like it's a Chinese style of kendo. So if you're at all familiar with kendo, where they actually whack each other with the sticks, that's what it is. But it's a Chinese company over here that I know the owner, and some people are suspicious that Frank Monday is just a ghetto bunny hanging around in the slums of Beijing. That's not at all true. I've worked since I've got here. I was at the top university doing research into Chinese poetry and literature, and I've worked at some of the top Fortune 500 companies here in China as as an English guy, working in contracts, working in proofreading language, working in. I even worked with the guys from the WeChat team when they had designed the original platform in 2011. Prior to 2011, like 2009, is when I started. On the design team for Tencent QQ. And so it was QQ first. And there were a lot of platforms out at that time. They were copycatting Chinese platforms. They had Ren Wang was copying Facebook. They had Yoku was copying YouTube. And they were looking for a way to integrate all of these things within the platform of a messenger. And I sat like hour after hour with those guys drawing up windows and talking about the simplification and the ease of you know having all the icons at the bottom and just making. I said the principle you want to keep in mind throughout this entire thing is simplify and simplify and simplify so that it's easy enough for an 80 or 90-year old grandma to use, and it's accessible to a 6 or 7-year old child. I said if you do that, people in the middle, the people who are busy with life, they're going to love it too, because everyone hates the complexity and uselessness of everything on all these other apps, right? You had WhatsApp and Messenger and whatever else. I said, just integrate all of those things with a simple format and you've won. And they took that idea and they ran with it. And here's the thing that really pissed me off about them. They never gave me any credit. I mean, it wasn't entirely. Obviously, the engineering side and the computer programming, I had nothing to do with. I was on the artistic team, and we were just going over the GIFs, right? Like the graphical interface, the way to interact with it. So basically, as far as WeChat's concerned, I'm the Steve Jobs of WeChat, and never got a single fucking bit of credit. Um, the funny thing is, at the time, I didn't even care. I was doing it in the spirit of Taoism that I so badly wanted a better platform that I just did it for free and I did it out of love. And so I worked with like a team of like 5 guys at first, but then it got up to like 25 guys and engineers and technicians, and everybody was there. But I led the charge on that, really. And just like I was like in kindergarten, I'm like, just keep it simple, and I would do all the drawings and talk about how the windows interacted. And it all really came out of a vision that I had when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I had like a 3-day fever of like 102, and I saw all of this technology and the way it became so confusing and difficult to use, that I knew that the easy answer was to simplify, right? Just make it as simple as possible. And so there you have it. Cat's out of the bag. I'll never get any credit for it though, and who gives a fuck, right? And even more than not becoming a multi-billionaire like I should have, um, one of the really bad things about it is that it did a 180 turnaround. It went from like this happy, open, sociable place, friendly. granting you additional freedoms, right? Access to the world, access to everything, instantaneous voice to text translation, right? Communicate in any language, all these wonderful tools. Find a bicycle to rent immediately, right? Get a taxi cab, order a pizza, all of these things, like basically the Pandora's box, the magic wand of everything in the world today. It went from that to a system of complete top down total domination and enslavement. And that's really what broke my heart about it. Because my IP went into it, my intellectual property. And so betrayal. Nothing stings like betrayal, right? So anyway, I promised I wasn't gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna fucking talk about it, right? That's it. I'm done. I've said my piece. I shall not recant. Okay, so that's good. We're making progress at the academic level. And um get shit done. That's the order of the weekend, man. I got a lot of shit I want to get done. And I'm going to get it done if it's the last thing I do. I hope you couldn't hear that, man. I just stepped on a frog. Uh Please stand by. There is a natural gas warning. Everyone, please don your gas masks and exit the building. Open all windows and evacuate immediately. You're lucky you're not here, right? There's no smell-o-vision yet, so thank God for that. Friday, the 28th of October. It's the 90. I didn't even write it on there yet. Jesus Christ, man, I'm really falling behind on my note keeping and tracking here. It is the 92nd day of the 100-day magical challenge. The moon is in Sagittarius and the sun is in Scorpio. Wow, what really beautiful, powerful energy today, huh? That is wonderful. I hope you guys are doing great on the magical challenge. It's the last 8 days. And I just realized that, like, Damien Eccles, the creator of High Magic, right, and the great the Grand Poupon himself. He's like he's copying, he's photocopying my 100-day magical challenge, and he's getting everyone to start off with doing a month of the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram. I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds a lot like Frank Monday's 100-day magical challenge, but he's making his magical challenge a little more serious. He's having people sign on for 3 years. The 3 year magical challenge. Good luck with that, Damien Eccles. You are far more ambitious than I am, my friend. But that's all going to be second rate stuff. You know, he's talking about magical systems that are new and improved, right? A better mousetrap. He's full of shit. There's nothing secret or new out there. There's no hidden systems. They're all out in the open now. The mystery school door was cracked 100 years ago. Everything got dumped into the public sphere, and we've just been sorting through it, right? He says that he has a secret tradition called the magnum opus, right? Yeah, sure you do, buddy. Whatever will sell tickets to your carnival, right? Good for you, sir. And I don't begrudge anyone anything. The magical journey and self initiation, you don't need to pay anyone anything for that, right? It's free to all. It's done through love, or it's done in no other way. I do solicit donations on www. Here we go. W's www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. I've re-released the basic meditation article on there, and I'm getting the script ready for the forthcoming video, creating your astral temple. And I'll keep an eye on Damien because he is up to big things, and he's got a lot of oh wow, he's got a lot of pies in the oven, so to speak. Um, Other than that, I was thinking about apothecum this morning, and so if you don't know what apothecum is, it's a term brought forward by dark journalists and it's spelled Apotheum, Apothium. And Apothium is basically defined as time dilation. So it's when it occurs during moments of high strangeness, when UFOs appear, or you encounter a cryptid, or you have a serious deja vu event, then you may in fact encounter apotheum. So maybe apotheum includes the idea of high strangeness as well. It's not fully 100% thoroughly defined by DJ, even though, from what I understand, he coined the term. He pulled it from, um, he says he pulled it from ancient manuscripts and teachings, and that it's appeared throughout history in various forms. But specific to his X steganography and his X series, he kind of coined the term of apotheum as time dilation. And so this morning when I woke up, I thought about those quiet moments in the early hours. I actually got up really early this morning. I woke up at like 3:03 a.m. and now here it is 8 p.m. And so I'm feeling like I've had a long day, and I have. But what does apotheum mean? First thing in the morning, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's when the Chinese calculate it. That's when they calculate the hour of the Magi, because the subtle energy courses throughout the major organs in a 24-hour period. Every 2 hours, the subtle energy is in a key organ within the body. And 3 to 5 a.m. is the hour of the liver. That's when the subtle energy is in the liver, and the liver is the greatest storehouse and creator of blood. Of course, the marrow, the bone marrow, contributes to the production of blood, but while you sleep, the much of the subtle energy in the blood will return to the liver and be stored there. And it could be said that the spirit, the critical factor, the conscious mind, hides out in the liver, and it's kind of like a blanket that goes over the it goes over the conscious mind, so that you're able to totally let the body relax and heal and recover from the day's toils. So when you wake up and you're returning from the abodes of dreamland into the prime material plane, then you start off your day with your dream recall, and you're experiencing apotheum at that time. Because believe it or not, you could say, for example, I got up at 3:05 and I sat in dream recall and went through the imagery, all of the imagery that I had experienced throughout sleeping and dreamland. And when I sat up for my meditation, only like 5 minutes had passed, right? I didn't fall back asleep. Make sure you don't fall back asleep, because that's part one of the magical challenge, is dream recall without going back to sleep. But it felt like I had been reviewing for hours, but hours that were not toil, hours that were not odious or tiring, hours of complete astral freedom to review the imagery, the lucid dreaming imagery that I had experienced throughout the night, were relived within just a few moments after waking. But it expanded to quite a lofty amount of time. And I even got nervous at one point that maybe I'd gone back to sleep and maybe it was like closer to 6, because it felt like 2 or 3 hours of time had passed. And when I opened my eyes back up, it was like 3:15. And I was like, wow, only like 5, 10 minutes have passed. So that was perfect. So you get kind of a deepening level of like Inception. If you've ever seen the movie Inception, that each level you go down into gives you an inordinate amount of increase in time to do things mentally and work through things and act spiritually. But in the prime material plane, only moments have passed. So you could live lifetimes in the blink of an eye. And that's what I experienced this morning. And I thought, hey, that's apotheum. That's what apotheum is, right? So now that I've moved out of the realm of dreamland and the fathomless cavern where the lamp of learning burns forever, fueled by those aspirants who do so with love. And I moved into meditation, sat upright into meditation. I started working through the levels of Volantia, Decreeism, and Possism. And I'm suspicious that Damien Eccles is going to start using this Latin terminology that I'm encoding through my magical challenge. I'm suspicious that he might be paying attention to me. And next thing you know, he's going to start encoding in his magnum opus, he's going to start using Frank Monday's uh, deeper definition of apotheum and the dissertation of the theory of thirds through Volantia, which is E, the intention of the wizard, the attentive factor, the intention, and the will to act, right? So, I had some good notes, but they're back at the dormitory. So we'll have to go through those next week when I've got my magical space operating there at school. So I spend half of my time at school and a small portion of my time now here at home. But of the time I spend here at home, I'm mostly just sleeping and eating, sleeping, and showering and retooling. But it's the weekend, so we've got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until I go back to work on Monday morning. So the 92nd day of the 100-day magical challenge, guys, deeper levels of Valantia, Decreeism, and Possism. So Valantia, when you sit up into meditation, you're using the calm, non-turbulent, attentive nature of the mind to fire up the bellows at the bottom, the lower Dantian. And so you just sink into the base of your spine and use that as the whipping point, right? Imagine that you've got your hand on the base of your spine, and the whole spine is like a whip. And so that's the feeling you want to have. You're not whipping the spine, you're just feeling as if it's an obelisk, a a pendulum swaying that's anchored at the base, but it's a pendulum swaying upright. So it's an anti-gravity pendulum, right? Like the pendulum on the old grandfather clock with its grotesquely carved aromatic wood and its four hands telling the alien time in strange dimensions, right? So this posture, this hand posture, obviously this way, for when your energy's balanced, this hand posture for when your energy's excessive, and this hand posture for when your energy is deficient. And you hold that down at the belly level at the Dantian. And so you fire up the bellows of the cosmos just by breathing gently and rhythmically in and out through the nose, of course, with the head upright as if suspended from a string from heaven, right? Head upright, chin slightly tucked, teeth slightly clenched. Don't clench them hard. Don't have any tension in the jaw, no tension in the eyes, and do the relaxation ritual. You'd think that you just woke up, right? So you should already be in a state of perfect relaxation, and you are, as long as you don't let the little devils and minions of the mind start to wander. The mind, after doing dream recall, the mind will be a completely void and empty landscape with nothing assaulting the mind. It's beautiful. It's another high level of apotheum. So you sit in that fathomless cavern, breathing rhythmically in and out, and you can do the fourfold breath if you like as the invocation of the Tetragrammaton to get you started. I like to. You might enjoy it as well. Then from that astral landscape, you can do your lesser banishing ritual without even getting out of bed. Just go ahead and do it one time. Visualize the entire thing. Once you get that done, wow, you're going to see how powerful it is on the astral plane. Really unbelievable. It's like fire. It's like the 4th of July in your mind. It's so beautiful. So beautiful when you do that first thing in the morning from a seat of meditation. After you've done your meditation, go ahead and rub your face, rub your body, stimulate yourself a little. Go jump up, go to the bathroom, wash your face, make throw on your kettle to boil up for a pot of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever you enjoy, your beverage, and then go over to your altar and do your morning rituals, your invocations, your affirmations, your reviewing of the great expressions of your ancestors, or whatever it is you're working on in your magic. Because the 100-Day Magical Challenge is all about you and you as the magician or sorceress or magicianess, if you like to apply gender to it, what you're up to. What is your great work? Because you're discovering that, right? So dream recall in the morning is just like in the evening, you do the daytime recall. You can start adding that now as we go towards the next 100-Day Magical Challenge. We haven't started it yet. Maybe we'll start it at the time of the winter solstice, right? Take a couple of months off, a couple of weeks, refresh, retool, review the 100-Day Magical Challenge perhaps in your own way. Just review your own notebooks. Say, hey, here's when the 100-Day Magical Challenge started. Maybe I made 10 pages of notes over the whole 100 days. Maybe you're like me and you went through, I think I went through a journal and a half over this 100-Day Magical Challenge. Maybe that's not right. Maybe it's only half a journal. I'll have to check. But when this one finishes up, I'll do a couple of weeks or a month. Let's see. We'll finish up in November. So we'll have December. Yeah, about a month, about 4 weeks of time to rest. 6 weeks. 6 weeks to rest before we chart out the curriculum for the next 100-Day Magical Challenge. So, 3 steps, right? Real easy to do. You've got dream recall, number one, number two, meditation, and number three, prayer and invocation. It's that simple. I didn't make it a difficult challenge because I want people to succeed. I want people to join the 100-Day Magical Challenge. Yeah, it sounds like you figured it out, Crystal. Good to hear. That is amazing. Wow, we've got really powerful energy out in the ideas room today, guys. Crystal says she was washing her face when I said washing your face. And she's had lots of experiences where she slept for only an hour and dreamed an entire week or more of living in dreamland, in the dream world. You said when I wrote a week, yeah, I was following Damon Eccles for a while. Yeah, I don't mind him. I think he's a charlatan essentially, and I do believe that whatever happened to him, the reason he got captured and taken out of the world for so long, I believe that that was a direct response to something inside him. There's some wickedness hiding in that man, and don't be fooled, right? I had a guy, one of my first teachers in magic, that looked nearly exactly like him, and I was like a boy of like 12, and he lured me in and got up to all kinds of nonsense and mischief, and he lured in a lot of young men, and he used them to do criminal activity because his reassurance was always, you're not 18 yet, you'll never get in trouble for it, they can't throw you in prison, the worst that'll happen is you'll get a couple of months in juvenile hall. So he used us, as he basically farmed us out as a criminal operation done at his behest, but he kept his own hands clean. And Damien has that exact same look and energy and everything about him of a charlatan and a crime boss trying to get everyone else in trouble while he runs away with the bag. And I don't know. I'm just telling you my analogy. I may be entirely wrong about the guy, but I'm suspicious that I'm not. Yeah, okay. I trust a cult priestess more than I trust him. I don't agree with everything a cult priestess says, but I love her, and I think she has a heart of sincerity and genuineness. And I've never felt like a cult priestess was a charlatan and trying to cheat anyone. I see her for what she is too. She's just doing her own great work, right? She's not trying to here kitty 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 kitty, right? But Eccles is, man, he's up to no good. I know ultimately he'll be found out. So if two so-called spiritual gurus here on YouTube, like YouTube gurus, right, have told you that, Crystal, then there's probably something to it. And me and a cult priestess are friends. I don't think she would ever say anything bad about me in that way. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. A cult priestess is just she's love is the law, right? Love under will. She's doing her thing. Um, she's a little more focused on the celebrity though than I am. That's good though. I mean, she's right there in Hollywood. I think she's moving soon. It seems like one of her most recent videos, she mentioned that she'll be moving somewhere like Ohio or something, which is pretty exciting. I mean, for her to get herself out of Hollywood, there's nothing in Hollywood, man. I've got an uncle who works in Hollywood, and I got family that still live in the LA area. And unless you're just totally fucking one of the moneyed class, then there's no reason to be there. All the glitz and glamour, it's useless. It's colored dust. Get out into the dirt and work on personal self cultivation. I guarantee you this: when she finally does escape LA, she will flourish as the occult priestess, right? Like her channel on Rockfin, I know is doing well, and she'll have the time to settle down and be centered. And she already is all of those things. She's already a master of reality. But I guarantee you that her dissertation and her presentation and all of that will go up to the next level. It'll become even more valuable. And I look forward to seeing that happen for her because she deserves it. She deserves to get the fuck out of Hollywood. Yeah, because it. I mean, I was there in 2019. I was there in 2017. I stayed in Franklin Village, which is right. I don't know if you know much about LA, but that's right there on Hollywood Boulevard, Franklin Boulevard. You know, the mountain right there. What is it called? The Griffiths Observatory. And I was right there in all of it. And I'm like, oh God, this is so fake, so evil. It's really a Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, you can practice as a wizard there quite powerfully, but you really need to have like no financial responsibilities. Like you don't have to pay the $2,000 a month rent. You know, you're gonna need 5 grand, 5,000 a month just to feed yourself and pay rent, right? So that's gonna be 50,000, 50 to 60,000 a year out of pocket just to live there. It's not worth it. Wow. I don't know. I would have to connect with you on a deeper level, Crystal. If you want me to do that work for you, I would work through the system of the tarot and Chinese astrology. I'd want to do your birth chart, number one. And then number two, I'd want to do an extensive tarot reading for you. And that would create a strong enough psychic connection that I could start scrying in the dark mirror and doing spirit vision on the astral plane. If that's something you want me to do for you, I would be willing to do it free of charge because you've been such a sincere person. I would do it as a gift for you. If you want me to do that, though, we're going to have to start connecting on email. And I'll make private videos for you here on YouTube and then send you the link to them because it's not something I can do openly in the public sphere. It's something we'll have to do behind the curtain, as it were. Yeah, we shouldn't discuss it in the public sphere. That's personal, private information. I don't mind talking about myself, but I wouldn't want you to reveal anything like that, and I wouldn't want to reveal anything that I saw or find or intuited. No, in fact, I could not do it for money. I would demand that you do not pay me. I mean, if here, we'll do this. You send me an email with your astrology data. I'll entice Miss Mary Moon to help out and say that we're doing it entirely pro bono, right? We're doing it absolutely for free. And if later on you feel like we were a valuable service to you in any way, you can make a donation to Mary. If Mary helps me out, it's not something I would want to tackle on my own. For you, what I can do is what I can do. I can do scrying in the spirit vision. I can consult the dark mirror. I can do magical talismans. I can consult the tarot and I can look at your birth chart. And if we were in person, I could do palm reading and face reading. But as far as the astrological correspondence, I would seek Mary's counsel in that. And if you felt like our combined efforts bring you some tangible result that's benefit and valuable to you, then I would ask that you make a donation to Mary's Buy Me a Coffee because she opened a Buy Me a Coffee thing too, but only after the fact. So we'll start the work now. This is something we can do over the next 6 weeks, since the 100-day magical challenge is just about over. There's only 8 days left. I would be willing to do that for you, but only if I can do it free of charge. Um, True magical work is not done for payment. No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would relish the opportunity to reach out to you and be of whatever assistance and provide whatever help I can um as a magician, just because that's what my calling is, right? That's my great work. And so yeah, absolutely. Send me an email. I think you have my email. I'll put it here in the chat. And I've actually been able to connect with emails recently. So that's just awesome. And it's open to anyone. Nobody ever emails me. Everyone's always like, "Oh, don't put your email on YouTube or on the internet, you'll end up with hundreds of thousands of spam mails and so on and so forth." Nobody fucking pays attention, right? I've put it out there. It's on my about section of my page, right? You can let me see, I'll jump over there and check it out. No, I've got the Kabbalion open and 66% on a 5-minute video. I don't know why YouTube takes YouTube can live stream my stuff, 45 minutes of live streaming now with perfect high fidelity, no problem, right? But it takes me 12 hours to upload a 5-minute video from my laptop. What the fuck is that? I don't get that. Just the craziness of the internet. Yeah, if you go to the about section on my YouTube page, it says my email right there. Yeah, gothic-irishLad@gmail.com. So it's not like I'm hiding from anyone. And this is the perfect time to do it too, Crystal, because I mean, don't no pressure. The deadlines are your own. Whenever you want me to start to get to work on it, that's when you can formalize your email and send it to me. Um, And if at any time you feel like, it's not it's not meeting your requirements or satisfying your needs, then don't feel compelled. You know, do your will. That's all that need be done. But yeah, I light up at the opportunity to be of service. That will get me high merit in the spirit world. Selfless service and like some genuine spiritual work is definitely what I'm all about, man. That's why I opened this channel to begin with. If you look at my about section, let's see, what does it say? Um, Very few people have actually ever taken me up on the offer. I think you may be the second or third. When I was active on WeChat, I had people constantly getting tarot readings like on live chats, and I take pictures of them and send them out and do all sorts of other spiritual counseling. And I loved it. But then when the platform started implementing draconian measures, I gave up and I totally withdrew from the world. Um, Totally original content, weekly updates on Taoist magic, ghetto gardens, Monday night swing dance, Frank Monday's open mic, kids kung fu classes, and my progression with learning survival skills, and any and all things that I find interesting. My adventures in China for the last 20 years. Your well wisher and friend, Frank Monday. I'm having just a wee bit of bourbon this evening. Last time I had a Friday night live chat, I drank like 3 beers and a big glass of bourbon, and it was way too much. I was pretty shit faced by the end of the transmission. So today I'm just going to have a wee tipple and then call it quits there because I don't want to go too far. Um, yeah. So 100-day magical challenge. We were talking about Volantia. So let's start with Volantia. What does it mean exactly, right? Um, Let me see. There are there are communique coming in from the ideas room, and I will check them before going forward. Oh, if you're interested at all in NLP counseling, there's a wonderful YouTube guy on here. I forget his name, but I'll check here in a minute. Um, and he knows everything about psychological counseling and NLP therapy, I believe. And he's a Thelemite. He's an OTO guy, and he really has his shit together. Um, the only other guy I know that knows like hypnotism to that level and can do really good NLP work is one of the members here on the channel who's taking part in the 100-day magical challenge, Frater Thomas Sund. He has a channel here on YouTube too, but he's not active on his channel, and he works actively as a hypnotherapist in Thailand. But he will also do internet work. He's the highest level hypnotist I've ever met, and I saw him go from a person who was just a basic like stage magician and stage hypnotism to putting himself through every bit of material on therapeutic hypnosis and going from like zero to hero in like 5 years probably, and spending quite a bit of money to do it. But I've never seen anyone else be so proactive in doing the exercises, practicing. I was his guinea pig through a lot of it just to get the free therapy, right? But being able to like do perfect inductions with just touching you, you know, to the level where you could go sit with them and be boom, you're immediately at the deepest levels of hypnosis. And I thought that was pretty fucking awesome because I couldn't master it. We did it as a challenge together, and I was trying to get to that level too. I could do self hypnosis, but I was never able to get to the level of charisma and animal magnetism that this man has. Um, Thomas Sund. So if Thomas, if you see this video at any point, and not just Thomas, but Tomas, he's a Swedish guy, and so he's a beloved friend of mine. Crowley wrote a lot, but Crowley's secretary, Israel Regardie, is really who brought the Golden Dawn into the public sphere. So you might be talking about Israel Regardie, who's one of my heroes. And I actually went through hypnosis sessions with one of Crowley's students when I was a little boy, like 10, 11, and 12. My mother sent me to one of his students because it's all the same folks in the Jewish community there in Hollywood, and so maybe we went to similar people. That's funny. If it is Israel Regardie, I've also been a patient, a problem child, an at-risk student who went through about a year and a half of hypnotherapy with one of Crowley's students. Not Crowley, Regardie. Regardie is Crowley's student, and I went to one of Regardi's students. I advocate therapy s- so much. If you can have yourself a decent therapist like I had in Tomas, God, that is invaluable. And I got it all for free because he was building himself up. He was building up his reputation and his credibility. And so he took a couple of clients that he worked exclusively with to develop his techniques, totally pro bono. And so, I mean, that one magician to another, that's what we do, right? We do it for each other for love, not for money. We go out into the world and make our money, by the sweat of our brow and rolling up the sleeves. And I gave him a couple of gifts from the heart though as well. I mean, when someone does that kind of work for you, you're not going to let it go unnoticed. Oh, I'm back already. Okay, good. Yeah, the feed cut there for a second. It dropped. So let's see if they're going to start playing games with me. If so, an hour's probably about where. Yeah, thank you for the yo. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you had mentioned Tomas Sheridan. That's not who I'm talking about though. But to yeah, mention Sheridan. He's a bit of a charlatan too. I like him though, and I will listen to him. But again, he's so mired in the colored dust and the politics of it all that I really find that disingenuous. As magicians, we need to integrate and work in the world, but to some extent, we should separate who we are from who they are, right? And like who I am from who he is, that type of thing. And that encompassing use of we constantly pulling you in and then objectifying you against them and they. I find it all a little bit shady. Yeah, I thought he lost his fucking hat because I was just like, bro, I was just pointing it out. I'm like, it's not we. We did not fucking drop bombs on this, that, or that other person. We did not, the Bronze Age. That is not a we thing. That's somebody else. Identify the ethnic groups, the historic peoples that did those things. I wasn't there. You weren't there. You got a fucking mouse in your pocket. Who is this elusive we you are talking about? Now, when I talk about the 100-day magical challenge, that is genuinely a we if there are other people participating in it. If it's just me, then it's just fucking me, and I'll tell you that, right? Yeah. Day night. Speak of the devil. Thomas Sund is in the room. Welcome, sir. Good to see you. I was just singing your praises because Crystal K is looking for some spiritual assistance, and I was talking about how me and you had worked together for years, and how all of the hypnotherapy I received and therapy, which I highly advocate, was received pro bono at your side. And wow, magic really works, right? We mention your name and you doth appear. So welcome to the chat, Thomas. Good to see you. This is the Tomas son I was talking about. Crystal K. Yeah, I was just talking about him. I said he appears in the chat occasionally, right? Periodically, making an appearance. Cheers to you, sir. I'm having a little bourbon, a little oak aged uh, Tennessee bourbon. Don't tell my wife if she shows up and smells that. There will be hell to pay. Hell to pay. Yeah, I was telling her about how we both went on the challenge to learn the high levels of hypnotherapy, right? Hypnotism, and you mastered it because you have this wonderful charisma and animal magnetism. And I just never rose to that level. I tried to do the work. I read the books, and I mean, I did do the work and I did read the books, but I just never learned. I could never master that incantation to be able to bring about the effect of deep levels of relaxation and the invocation that enchants. But you mastered it with flying colors, man. Yeah, so I was telling her about that. And she's on a spiritual path of her own. Crystal has been participating in the 100-day magical challenge, and yes, it is a deep level of communication. Yeah, and having said that, I mean, Thomas knows he's Thomas has the power to communicate straight to your DNA, right? Straight to your ancestors, as it were, right down to the genetic level, and make real change. Yeah, Crystal's been participating. She's been doing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. She's been working with her tarot and the tree of life. I've been doing tree of life watercolors. I've done like three or four in the course of the 100-day magical challenge. I'm seeking to memorize all of the paths and the spheres and their associations because I've been working with them for over 2 decades now, but I've never sat down and committed it all to memory, you know. And I think it was make sure my Bluetooth's working. Are we still hear me? Give me a yo if you can still hear me. The battery on that other microphone died just now. So if we are still a go, yeah, thank you for those yos, guys. I appreciate that. Um, so where was I? Where had I just left off? Let me see. Yeah, so there was a famous, I think it was Saint Augustine, that said he'd been reading the same prayers for 25 years. I guess he was a monk in a temple, and a fire broke out in the monastery where he was, and his personal prayer book got burned. And he sat down in supplication with the divine and sought to do his daily prayers. And he suddenly discovered, after 25 years of reading his prayers, he did not have them memorized. And he's like, oh, good God, all is lost, right? And he discovered his prayer book in the rubble of the monastery. I forget exactly which saint this was, but he said you could read the same prayers for 25 years and you will not commit them to memory until you make the intention to do so, right? And I thought those were powerful words. You really need to make a dedicated intention to memorize certain things. And that truly is the key, the silver key, right? The key, well, how does it go? The silver key. Craft your own silver key, which is an etheric double that you make through astrally imprinting it. So you work from the astral and you imprint into the etheric so that you have a tangible item. Though invisible, you can feel it. Though though invisible, you can see it. Though intangible, you can feel it, right? In the mystic moment. It's a real thing, guys. That's what the magical challenge is all about, is doing good magic. Yeah, so wow, what a fantastic group of individuals gathered here in the ideas room tonight. So wonderful to see all of you guys. Look, Crystal K's out there. Mary Moon has popped in. Mary Moon, I was just talking about you as well. Crystal, tell Mary what I was just saying about her. Crystal has proposed possibly a magical challenge, right? Um, for me personally, but I wanted to include you, Mary, because I am nowhere near the. Hey, look at this! The mastermind has gathered. I'm nowhere near the astrologer that Mary is, and I'm nowhere near the hypnotist or master of NLP that Tomas is, right? Frater Tomas and Soros Mary. Um, and I had just told Crystal that if I can get Mary to help me with the astrology part and Tomas to help me with the hypnotherapy, then I would be willing to endeavor to help Crystal with my magical abilities pro bono. And so if you guys are in on it, man, if you want to join the challenge, I put my email up in the conversation. So if you have time to read through the chat, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you guys are down for it, I've offered your services in collaboration with my own to help Crystal unravel a Gordian knot, as it were. So I'm being a little bit presumptuous in asking for your guys' assistance, but I I see it as kind of the great culmination of the 100-day magical challenge because I know that some of you have been participating, and I think that it would be a worthwhile endeavor, and so that's why I propose it. Yeah. If you guys feel like I'll do my part no matter what. I can do your birth chart, Crystal. I can look at it. I can do tarot. I can do magic. I can do, like I said, I can scry in the dark mirror, and I can do scrying in the spirit vision. Work on the astral plane, and I'll find out what I can that way. But that's where I'm limited. That's where my magic ends, as it were. That's my speciality, my forte. Um, so with other things, I would enlist the aid of my friends to also contribute in some small way. Not that you guys have to do a ton of shit, right? Because I know like uh, Tomas, for example, is a professional working hypnotherapist, so he's engaged in full time work doing his job to earn a living, right, and support his family through his work in Thailand. I hope you don't mind me telling people that you're in Thailand, Tomas. And Mary is in New Scotland, and she's full time employed as a mother and a homesteader and an astrologer for the stars, right? So, um, wow, yeah, do your thing, Tomas. Um, Yeah, so Mary, I don't know if you're on board on the same page as me, but I told her I would do my magic work only without payment. I'm not going to do it for money. And I would only do it for a friend like Crystal, who's been a friend of the channel, longtime listener, and quite a dedicated and sincere and genuine person. And I wouldn't do it just for any random person that wandered in here, the internet tourists, as it were. Yeah. I'm the same with Mary. Like I can dedicate actually now that I've got some free time coming up and we're at midterms, I can dedicate some time to it. So it's not something that will be an imposition on me. I have a great I have a great level of spiritual freedom here. I work a full-time job. You guys know I'm out of the house like 60, 70 hours a week. But with that said, I have a lot of time in my dorm and in my office, and I'm already quite advanced in my career. So most of my curriculums are prepared, most of my lesson planning, I've got 20 years worth of that work already done. So it does allow me a certain level of freedom to do other spiritual endeavors. So I do have the time to address it, Crystal. But I know that Mary's full time gung ho at it. So, Mary, basically what I was suggesting is that maybe I would seek some feedback from you if I have specific difficulties with her birth chart. And so I'll do my side of the magic and the astral scrying. And then when I encounter something that seems confusing or obtuse, then I'll send you a question or a query. And if you have time to respond, then that will aid in the endeavor. I mean, because everyone's own unique situation is like a Gordian knot, right? And it was Alexander the Great who whipped out his sharp sword and cut the knot in order to release the tension. And he, as a result, solved the riddle and became master of the entire empire. Wow, did you say something unforetold? And I told her, in addition to that, Mary, that if she did feel like our service was valuable to her, my work and your work, if you assist, then I would defer any payment or donation or gift of love directly to Mary rather than myself. Because in the past, Mary has given me gifts of love, and I would just like to complete the circuit, right? You guys know that I'm not here trying to fucking put everything behind a paywall and be all obscure and mysterious and ooh, the 100-day magical challenge. You've got to pay the money up front, right? No, no, that's not what it's about. It's about the love of doing the work together, right? Like when I do my free kung fu classes in the park, it's like so I can get out there and train, and so that I can better clarify it in my own mind. I'm constantly using the Feynman technique. Do you guys know the Feynman technique? Feynman said if you want to learn something really good, teach it to other people for free, right? Learn it, study it, and then teach it to other people for free. And everyone I've met that becomes a master at their own practice, that's how they do it. They learn it, and as they learn it, they teach it to people who want to know for free. And as a result, they master it. And then when you're at the master level, your personal practice is where you generate your income, right? My personal practice, my my day job, as it were, is as a I can officially say now is the manager of the foreign teachers department at the academy at which I work, which is a pretty big deal for me. I'm head of the department now. That's why I decided to open a bottle of Tennessee's finest bourbon, aged in white oak barrels for 10 years, old number seven, coming at you. Let me catch up with the ideas room, guys. Mary says, I was saying, yes, I help anyone for free with chart help. I'm quick and good at pointing out the strongest things, but it takes me hours of work. I do also take donations. No, I was saying I didn't say any potty words. Yeah, you better keep that. You better keep a fucking check on your potty mouth, Mary. No goddamn swearing. Pardon my French. No swearing in the Frank Monday chat room. Um, Same Pisces powers as Frank here. Yeah. So we have the Piscean powers, which you know are penetrating intuition and psychic abilities. Yo, 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 Simon 1532 is in the chat, guys. Welcome. Thanks for that, Thomas. You know I've been fucking hard at it, man, for 22 years now. 20 years I've been here in the central kingdom of the celestial dragon, working at my career, and it's finally come to fruition. And now another international school's looking at inviting me over for a salary like 10 times what I'm making. And it includes a house, a villa, right? Like a legitimate house, A-frame house with a basement and a two-car garage. And they're like, that's included if you come over here. And I'm like, give me some time, man. Let me fix their program, then I'll come fix your program. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not one to jump ship just at an enticing offer, you know. Um, it's funny how that works, right? You do a 100-day magical challenge, the company you work in promotes you, and then every company in town wants you. And it's like, no, that's not the way it works. Wait until the next cycle, right? Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna enjoy I'm gonna do what this promotion requires before I go anywhere else. But now's the time, man. Strike while the iron's hot. If I was one to just totally go with the flow, then I would do it. But here's the problem with that. When you start making those rapid changes, it can sacrifice a lot of your personal physical health and your mental well being. And so I prefer stability over rapid change. That's just me. It's a wise thing, I think, right? Like gently flowing water, right? It can wear away its stone. It's a gentle breeze, not a tornado. When the tornado appears, I just back off a little bit because a tornado cannot be maintained. And if heaven and earth can't maintain such ferocity, then what would a man think that he could maintain? Right? A lightning flash is momentary. A an earthquake, right? It shakes for a while and then it's gone. You can't take that rapid change and be lured in to all the bells and whistles because those are deceptions. That's pride cometh before a fall. Hubris is what always gets you, right? So take it nice and slow. Yeah, it is hard to build a foundation on shifting sands. That's right. But I've done it, man. And they're not shifting sands. They're Beijing is fucking 800 years old, man. They when they came in and laid their tetragrammaton, their foundation here at Old Gungung, they did it with some of the highest artistry of the most powerful magicians in the world at that time. You think the Yellow Emperor was joking when he set up his north-south axis pointed straight at the Big Dipper, right? Here in Old Peking. No, he wasn't fucking around. The dragon lines are powerful here. Not everyone can handle it. It's draconian, but it's Draco Major, right? We're at a very strategic vantage point of the great dragon in the sky. Central kingdom of the celestial dragon, baby. Yeah, you said it, man. You guys know what you're talking about. None of you guys are here because you're dummies. I mean, Chinese have an expression. They say that heroes worship other heroes, or great minds think alike. Jupiter's in Pisces right now, thousands of years old. Oh, tell us what you mean, Mary, Miss Mary Moon. Do not be so mysterious in your transmission, our great astrologer, master astrologer. Let us know directly, without any obfuscation. Tell us your message with ultimate clarity and no subterfuge whatsoever. Frank Monday demands it. Yo, good looking, sexy people are my favorite people in the world, man. This is my only social circle at this point. They keep trying to pull me in at work and be like, set up your social circle here. I'm like, no, those things are distinctly different. Workaday pursuits are workaday pursuits. The alter ego who pursues a nightlife with a social circle, that's an entirely different dude. You don't want him working here. I think I keep things very, very diligently compartmentalized. Oh, okay, Mary. I hear what you're saying. You're summarizing my ramblings. Good for you. Good for you. But I'm a little bit like I said, I'm just hitting on it intuitively. You're the one that knows the reasoning behind it, not me, man. What am I looking for? I was looking for something and then it just totally flew out of my head as I stood up. That's okay. I think I'm just making sure that the door's locked because I don't want my wife sneaking up on me when I'm drinking whiskey. She won't appreciate that not one bit. I got a cigar too, but I'm not going to fire it up because my mother-in-law came for a visit, so she's over there doing crazy shit, and she hates the smell of a cigar worse than anything. Cigarettes don't bother her, but when I fire up those big fucking Cuban, what are they? That brand. I forget the names of everything unless I Really try to remember them. Romeo y Julieta. If I fire up this Romeo y Julieta, then there'll be hell to pay. That's okay. I might just do it if I have one more glass of this bourbon. Wow, that's high praise coming from you, Mary. Did you see Eric Dubé's latest video? The Tides? Wow, what a wonderful presentation. Guys, if you don't watch Eric Dubé, get over there and check him out. He is such a eloquent and wonderful presenter of truths. His I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mary, is this how you spell his channel name? Eric Dubé. Eric Dubé, Monsieur Eric Dubé. Muy bueno. It's bon appetit. It's wonderful stuff. He just dropped like a 20-minute video that's just like being in paradise to watch. He talks about the great whirlpools. He talks about Hyperborea. He talks about just some of the most mystical, beautiful imagery that you could imagine. It'll really connect with you. Um, he has a way to touch to the hidden truths of a man's soul here in the material plane. Wow, I'm among some of the greatest people on earth right now. Frater Thomas Sund. I'm talking about Eric Dubé. Miss Mary Moon's here. Oh yeah, you saw it. It was good. Thumbs way up. I don't think I left a comment on it though, because I was driving when I listened to it. As you guys know, I commute an hour to and from work, and so I listen to most of my YouTube videos while I'm driving, and I do a lot of my transmissions while I'm driving, as you probably know, the Live Drive Drive archive. And then as a result, I can't really read the chats. I can't really comment on them and stuff like that. So that's the way it works. But occasionally on the weekend here, we have an opportunity to sit and chat and talk about magic. And I'm really excited that the 100-day magical challenge is nearing its 100th day, right? I wonder how much oil you've saved up in Aladdin's lamp, right? I'll be honest. Three. Three in the 100 days. So that's my tally. That's my emission frequency this time around. I wasn't overly hard on myself, you know. I was you know, take it easy on yourself occasionally. I think that's important. Um, how many days did I miss? Yeah, maybe three out of 100. So, but it's okay to take a day off. I never missed a single day of the equation of three, though, right? Dream recall, meditation, and prayer. That I always fulfilled. But as far as like my banishing rituals and my adorations and my affirmations, 1 in 30. So in each 30-day cycle, I missed 1 day because something happened. Not because I wanted to, but because something, you know, some nastiness that you have to deal with. I started off this video talking about apotheum, but I'm not going to go back there right now. But I am going to mention this. Back when the sun was in Cancer this year, I wrote at 5 a.m. Sleep is the door to heaven. Wake. Review review dreamland imagery. Rub your face, pound the drum, and invoke. Do your qigong in prayer. Rise before the stars have ceased their vigil. So that's me, man. I rise at the moment of apotheum. Huh. Did we lose folks in the chat room? Looks like we might have. My laptop, I didn't have it plugged in, so the battery just died. That's kind of a bummer. Now I can't. If I want to keep up with the chat, I have to read it from the phone. Okay, so back then I had Aladdin's lamp was at plus 28. And I said, another day of deep, long hours of sleep. In short, I learned that, oh, this is when I got some, yeah, this is one of the traumatizing bad news things. Don't focus on them. Let them go, right? Resolve them, but let them go. And send your furious wrath at those who would oppose you. I drew the star at this point, and it is La Étoile Flamboyante, according to Arthur Edward Wyatt. Look at the chat just updated with like 10 messages at one time. I hate how YouTube does that. They'll hold the chat back. Yes, that's his channel. He's Virgo Sun, Taurus Moon, Mars Scorpio. It's good astro learnings to watch Eric Dubay when he's in a stream live, like the one with Eddie Bravo. Wow, I know. I don't think yeah, I saw that one. I saw that one. That's really old though. He hasn't done a live stream in a long time that I know of. Good job, Tomas. Frater Tomas. Or should I say Hip Moses? Yeah, man. No, you've done your fucking homework. You're already an initiate, man. Yeah, there goes the power just popped off on my laptop. So my ring of fire suddenly went out. Um, I'd only originally planned for about an hour of streaming, but I'm having so much fun that I thought I'd stick around for a minute. And that light will not help. So the star is card 17 in the major arcana, and it is the Egyptian goddess Nuit as she stretches her body out over the heavenly vault. The Chinese have a mirror story of the goddess Nuwa weaving the fabric of the celestial vault. And when it rips, it creates a great flood on earth. And so it was her duty to sew up the tears in the celestial dome so that humanity wasn't flooded out of existence during one of the great floods in ancient China. And that's a part of their mythology. She is Columbia, Astarte, goddess of the stars. She advises us to follow our dreams and that which gives you the most inspiration in life. When you follow your dreams, the golden light shall guide you. Every man and every woman is a star. Be open to love and trust what the universe brings you at this time. Horus arises out of the union of Nuit and Hadit and is the aggressive, destructive, almost Shiva like destroyer energy, the judgment of Christ, the mystery of Golgotha. Encouragement is now being freely given from beyond the veil. The Shekinah is revealing her secrets. These are rewards for the testing times you had in the recent past. And now is the time to move forward. Promotion, as Thomas just said, is motion, is promotion, right? Move forward with renewed hope and live an inspired life in which you can fully express yourself. Wow, isn't that so prescient that that's right now what's happening at day 92 of the 100-day magical challenge? Like, I'm really starting to embrace it. I held my first ever team meeting today. And so all the new foreign teachers were arrayed before me in a convex circle. And we were in our new um, counseling room, and I was at the head. I took the sofa. I'm like, I'll just take the nicest chair. I just feel like I should. And so I sat down in like this throne-like chair, and I had my clipboard in front of me, and I said I got four major points to make as we go through them. If you have any questions, just let me know, and then we'll do a little Q&A at the end. And so it took 30 minutes to get through point one, just because of all their all their Q&A, right? All of my subordinates, right? They're actually above me because they're the guys doing the hard work, right? They're doing the labor. I'm just doing the IP. Um, and so I just let them wear themselves out, right? Asking and answering each other's questions. And then I just gave the most salient points, and it felt so perfect. Like I was no imposition on them. And I said, hey guys, we'll get through. Like Chinese teachers do their meetings every week, and they do 2, 3 hours sometimes. I'm like, we'll do one a month. It'll take 30 minutes. Come on, forget about it. Right. So I was like the Dawn, and they all had to pay a little homage to the throne of Sir Francis. Good fun, man. Good fun. I've never really been in a position of power before in a corporation, so I find it what did they say? New and refreshing, inspired life, and fully express yourself. And so I felt that absolute freedom that, hey, I'm just going to be myself. If I do anything other than myself, I'm lying, right? Put on no pretense. Just speak from the heart and be myself, because that's all I can do. If I do anything else, then I'm lying, right? So I never let the shadow of doubt creep in. I just be yourself. Just do it. So it was good fun because when you're yourself, you can be totally humble. You can be totally sincere. You have no pretense. There's no guile. There's no subterfuge. There's nothing to hide. Fuck, it's just me. I'll do what I can. And if I can't do it, one of you fucking guys can do it. You know what I mean? And if not, then you're fired. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's good fun, man. Um, she is the great mother in the sphere of the tree of life, Bina, the dark mother. Also, she is also Madre Terrible, right? The bitch mother. Oh, good God! If she comes home and smells me drinking whiskey, there's going to be hell to pay. The silver cup is the moon. It is the feminine. It is the receptive energy. It is the egg. Ooh, isn't that a little bit mysterious, man? That's the sacred marriage of Christian Rosenkreutz. All right, guys, we're winding down here to the end. She is the channel for the inspiration and energy of the Godhead, the great crown, Hokmah and Keter. I hope so, Thomas. Let's hook up for real on WeChat, man. Let's do some private behind the veil conversations because I miss you, man. I love you, brother. Simon, I hope you're doing well. Fair play, Frank. Well deserved. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I've had many perfect days. I've had many perfect days, not all. Yeah, good man. Me too. Absolutely. Not all of them can be perfect. And even the imperfect ones are just sharpening the blade, right? That's the resistance we need to swell the muscles, to sharpen the resolve, and to hone the blade of wisdom. That's that friction we need, man, to make our magic even more powerful. Because without friction, how could you release electricity? Ah. Yeah, we're having good fun, man. I wish this would never end. But all good things must come to an end. Miss Mary Moon says, um, you can see how opposite Frank and Eric are. Yeah. Okay, guys, as you wander into the abodes of the future, do good magic. I'm going to finish up with this, though, until I go. The golden cup is the yang energy, the masculine, the yud, the hokmah, the semen. Ooh, that's exciting, huh? Gifts of the spirit freely given, right? Avoid any dead jing by just go ahead and fire your cannon when you have to, man. Don't be afraid. Pull the trigger, Thomas. You taught me that. I've been such a diligent cultivator of, sublimation of the primal chi that sometimes I'm a little bit worried about firing the cannon, but I've run into the occasional situation where it's required, you know. Occasionally people do need to be fired or chastised or admonished, but I've never been in a position to do that. I've always humbled myself, I'm the man at the end of the stick on the broom for the most part, cultivating my my talent, my genius, my educated mind behind the guise of just hard work. Because Israel Regardie taught me early on that nothing can replace persistence. The world, what does he say? He says, talent will not. The world is filled with the unsuccessful people, talented, unsuccessful people, right? Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. It is a proverb, really. And education will not. The world is filled with educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent, not only in the words of Israel Regardie, but in the likeness of his accent as well. And so I always took that to heart, man, since I was like 12 years old. I read that. It's originally from Theodore Roosevelt, but Israel Regardie says that it's a quote from the book of The Brotherhood of Luxor. So who do I believe? Do I believe Regardie or old Teddy, right? Teddy Bear, Teddy Roosevelt, as it were. I'm inclined to think that Regardie was right, that it came from a brotherhood and a sisterhood, a familyhood of those who sought the light, right? Luxor means the light. So the brotherhood of Luxor is the brotherhood of light. And I find a lot of light in you guys, man. You guys are what make me do it. If it wasn't for connecting with um, mastermind group here, all of the greats, Simon, Tomas, Miss Mary Moon, Crystal K, and everyone else out there in Happy Land, guys. We should all say a prayer for Monsieur Tiedrick because he has fucking disappeared totally, and that kind of worries me because he goes a little bit hard on the old Aqua Vita or Water of Life, and you shouldn't do that. An occasional tipple is even an indulgence, but I feel it's justified as a bit of a celebration for myself. And thank you for your guys' friendship. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by and checking me out. All's well here in Twilight's own Old Peking. We're doing good, man. I love y'all good looking, sexy people. Stay well out there in Happy Land. And I will see you in the abodes of the future, as above, so below, as we wander into those ever expanding horizons. Let's keep doing good magic, guys. Until next time, Zaijian.